So we have as the panels Rama Devi Lanka Garu. She is the Director for Emerging Technologies, Officer on Special Duty, especially in ITE and Embedded Department of Government of Telangana. And we have Dr. Anjaneyulu Pasala, who is the Principal Research Scientist at Infosys from Bengaluru. And we have Mr. Satish Medapati, who is the CEO of Intentico from Bengaluru. So welcome panel. Welcome all the members.
Yeah, thanks Mahesh. Hi everyone, Satish here.
Hey Satish, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you Mahesh.
Yeah, good evening everyone.
Madam, good evening, how are you?
Yeah, good. Hope all of you had a very good session from morning onwards.
Yes, yes. I think still Anjaneyulu is still not joined. Maybe we'll wait. We'll just continue. Maybe sometime he will join. Yeah, there you go. Dr. Anjaneyulu, welcome.
You're on mute, Anjaneyulu.
Still you are on mute. You need to unmute yourself, Dr. Anjaneyulu. Just scroll your mouse down on the left hand side. You can see there is a pop-up.
Yes, Srinivas.
Yeah, just scroll down your mouse to down.
Say, okay.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, it is actually in the middle of the browser.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Good afternoon to everyone on the panel.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone.
So as you know, the buzzword is in and around the AI and automation. So as you know, the topic is AI going to kill jobs or create jobs? In which I'm going to ask two different questions for each panel. And again, one question at a time. We will be having a one round. Then again, we will having the one more question to all the panel members. Then finally, I'm going to conclude this panel discussion. So without any further delay, as one of the surveys says that Ghana report says that 2.4 million new jobs which AI is going to create, and there is a loss of course 1.8 million by 2025, and accounting a net 2.4 new million by 2025, which means technically, though there is a bad news, we have a huge good news that technically 2.4 million approximately the number of new jobs which AI is going to create for us. And when Telangana government this year announced that the year of AI, which is 2020, so one of the vision of Telangana government is to create 10 lakh jobs. So keeping all in this context, will AI kill jobs due to the automation? That is the first question. We'll start with Rama Devi Garu, then we'll proceed to Dr. Anjaneyulu, then Satish Garu. Yes, madam.
Yeah. Actually, you already answered that question, Mahesh. In the sense you said, there's so many jobs being created and, so many would be displaced. But the multiple reports out there, even World Economic Forum, it gave a figure saying that around 133 million jobs will be created and around, I think, 75 million will be displaced. That leaves a net 58 million more jobs, So whatever reports that you might look at, there is always a positive side on it. There may be displacement in the jobs, but before I go to the displacement, let me just tell you, all of you might agree here, all the panelists, and I'm not sure about the students, that every sector is going to be impacted by AI, right from government to businesses, even to the individuals, It actually changes the way we live, the way we interact with each other. and the way we work. It already changed, of course, the way we work. We are working from home. So every sector is going to use AI. In fact, within the government also, we are focusing on agriculture, 5 areas basically: healthcare, agriculture, mobility, and smart cities. Another one is law enforcement. So if you look at, I mean, and this year, apart from AI, we're also focused on agriculture. Agriculture is the key focus area for us. I mean, you might have seen in the news also, our chief minister talking about agriculture. Want to see farmers profited from business. So we are actually exploring how to use various technologies to improve, farmers' income, farmers' yield, so that he prospers actually. In fact, we are working with World Economic Forum. In fact, today morning also, I had a discussion with on agriculture. It's, what are the various technologies that we are going to work on. And yeah, today morning, I had a meeting with Niti Ayog also. Miss Anna Roy was there in the meeting. And we were discussing on a project called quality assaying, which using AI, can you actually determine the quality of turmeric? Turmeric is one of the biggest spices in Nizamabad, largest. A huge quantity of turmeric is being exported. Can we actually, employ a solution wherein quickly we can calculate a curcumin? It's called, the content of the quality determinant is called curcumin. So, in fact, a young startup company devised a solution using an algorithm wherein if you actually place small quantity of powder in that machine, in 5 minutes it will actually indicate you the quality, how much percentage is pure. So those are the kind of solutions that we are looking at within the government also. So when you look at such kind of initiatives, obviously we need more resources, we need more companies to work on. It leads to more jobs. So yes, there may be some displacement of the jobs in the existing, like for example, routine jobs kind of jobs, where RPA might replace them, where it's kind of a repeated thing that you do on a daily basis. Such kind of jobs might get replaced by AI. But overall, as you see, I see a net gain, in AI, and we need to be prepared for that, for that increase in jobs. So all the students here out there, you try to learn something in AI. This is a good opportunity for you to understand, about AI and what are the opportunities out there. So yeah, Mahesh, if you have more time, I can talk, but let the other speakers.
Perfect,
Yeah.
thank you. So we'll proceed to Dr. Anjaneyulu.
Yeah. Thank you, Mahesh. Madam Rama Devi has touched upon the right points and the kind of automation people are looking at using AI in both. I don't want to say removing the bookkeeping like repetitive tasks, is more making them much more smarter. What we call as smarter workers. That's where the shift may happen, but the shift will also be more gradual. Some estimates say 82% of the chance of automation, complete automation, will take 2 decades. That's the kind of shift that may take from completely manual to the smarter worker in case of industrial 4.0 automation. Even 90% of the people believe that it would not impact their employment. The reason is, but as rightly pointed out by the madam, the shift may happen. Let me take two use cases today where there is a large number of people are employed in call centers and also the software maintenance. If you take in a call center, let's take a conversational AI is the one of the most important AI component, which is making a call center people to interact the customer much more efficiently. See here, the call center one call center may handle more number of jobs because of the efficiency and the kind of a level of the conversational bots can be used in their day-to-day life. But when you look at the AI, the way AI plays and helps these people, the people can become much more smarter. And also when the person is talking to a customer, today it is very difficult to understand the pulses of the person. So tomorrow, if I use the AI, that's where some of the projects which we are working on, we collect the data through the conversational bots and through the speech recognition and the speech conversation, we identify what kind of person, whether his level has reached where he is going to fire or where he can use very high level of intensity, then alert the experienced person to help him. So that's the way it is going to help. It is going to help the person who is handling the customer. So it becomes more efficient, more number of people can be handled. And then similarly, let's take a software maintenance. Today, yes, we have a conversational bots which have been deployed to simply give some data automatically and replacing the person. But it also helps more efficiently to reduce the number of bugs. Look at using some of the ML algorithm, looks at back the entire volume of data and analyze if you are making some change. Hey, look, here is going to previous changes, and it's going to further break this particular code. So that way, it helps the people. Look at that. But there are some bad cases where the people may move from killing the repetitive task, but it is a gradual, and also the repetitive task may become a smarter people. The smartness will come. Today, take a best example. You've taken a bank. But today, bank doesn't have any paperless almost. When I look at 1990s, there was a huge discussions like this where the entire folks will be replaced. No, it never replaced. It becomes much smarter. So that's where the things may move from one place to the another place. But to give just one example, the most AI today is used in Amazon. The Amazon warehouse and logistics. But today, the one which is highly 100% automated has a more number of workers in the warehouse than the previous. That's the way it creates more jobs, but the jobs will shift from one type to the another type. That's what I would like to emphasize. And let's wait for the other things before we say where they can learn, how they can move on. Yeah, over to Mahesh.
Yeah, thanks for the sharing insights more from the back end operations of a banking, and that was a seriously well explained with example. So we'll proceed to Satish.
Yeah. So
What is your views, Satish?
one thing is very clear that Mahesh definitely likes Rama Garu and Anjaneyulu Garu better than me.
Oh,
You know why? Because there is nothing left for me to talk on this question. They both have covered, right? So, two quick points that I will add. One is if you look at things that are almost turn of last century, we had humans actually doing, there used to be called as human computers who actually used to do algorithms. Okay, much before IBM has, got this mainframe or even before that. And if you look at even very, very short term, like probably about 30 years back, you used to have this typing and shorthand. I don't know how many of these, students might be aware of that, but I'm sure four of us will relate to that, right? There were like typing and shorthand institutes and, everywhere, right? So if you look at it, I think both of them have covered it. One is net addition, yes. Two, unfortunately, there will be definitely job losses on a lower scale or a automatable sort of jobs. Okay, reskilling has to happen. So if you're a student, I think the best time now is to make sure that you're jumping into the AI stuff. It's a great opportunity. And if you're somewhere in the mid careers, then you probably have to start learning because that's going to be the future. So that's going to be my answer. Just one point, since we do conversational AI, adding to Dr. Anjaneyulu's point, right? So when we look at what is automating, right? So if we automate a call center, it's not really 100% automation that we are doing, like he has really mentioned. But you knock off about a 30, 40, 50% of the capacity. Yeah. and that is really, really good enough for effectiveness as well as efficiency. And all of them get reskilled. And the same thing, like both of them have mentioned, IT has added actually more jobs and contributed more to the economy than what it has been taken. Yeah, those are my points. I wanted to say that.
Yeah, perfect, Satish. So there is a perspective, being working on more conversational AI. So let me tell you, Satish is heavily works on chatbots. So he is one of the a person who is one side due to the job losses. He is also one of the reason.
I already told that he doesn't like me. See.
Okay, as just to avoid this statement, now this the second question will come from the backwards. So where Satish will start, then we'll go to Dr. Anjaneyulu, then we'll end with Rama Devi. As one of the survey, which is called Curve report says 65% of jobs that are not exist today, which the students are going to work in a few days, in a few years. So apparently, if you look at this shift is happened in the past also. If you look at from the last 3 decades, where slowly we started with a Java, and then slowly Java got replaced with some X technology. Then we got a Y2K. Then after that, we got slowly the commercial softwares. Then now we got open source. So this shift is happened. But the kind of statement, if you see that, once the Curve report confirms that after a few months, even Microsoft confirmed this a powerful statement, which is 65% of jobs do not exist right now, which the students are going to work, which means, in other words, we can say the future generation jobs might be like data interpreter, data detective, data ethicist. So even if you look at a high level leadership level also, apart from the traditional roles, that's why even if you look at my designation, it's Chief AI Officer, similarly Chief Data Officer. So like this, we are getting a new job roles, which we never had in the past. So what is your views, Satish, on this? Do you think more than this, as one of the another survey says, due to AI, the 100+ new job roles which we are going to hear, which we never had in the past, might be few are related to robotics, few are related to autonomous driving, few are related to IoT, few are related to AI. So what is your insights on this?
Very, very valid viewpoint, Mahesh. We already see this happening. So about 2 to 3 data points that I'll tell you. Yes, the answer is yes. We are going to probably see, we may not even know, actually speaking, 10 years down the road, what sort of job titles are we going to be seeing. Okay. If you look at it like again, I'll come back to history because, that is one good thumb rule for us to look at, how history has, shown us, right? So when I started, I was in something called as analytics, and that was the hottest area those days.
Right.
And 15 years, 16 years down the road, analysts are more like, taken out, and you probably now have a data science, a data engineer, right? So so definitely the answer is yes. And 2 things I'll also tell you. One is I was part of a review committee where we were helping NASSCOM in terms of what should be the skill sets that are required for different functions within AI. And there are tons and tons of things that are coming up. And in my own company, what we have seen, right, is the spectrum is changing. For instance, earlier, a DevOps or a ProdOps is the same standard set of Splunk files and other stuff. But if you look at today, right, my machine learning DevOps is something that I'm actually looking at it today. Hey, do you know not the normal DevOps, but the DevOps of machine learning? Both are different, right? Because you cannot have you need to restart the Python, and you should know how to do that. That's simple things, right? But nuances. And same thing with data sciences. At an algorithm level, you need different people. At an R&D level, you need different people. And at a configuration and implementation level, you need a very, very varied skill sets. So the answer is yes, and it's going to be very, very fine-grained over a spectrum that I think is going to be happening. Yep, I'll give it to you back, Mahesh.
Yeah, thanks, Satish, and thanks taking us to the back conventional, around 2 decades back, the way how we started analytics, then moving to the data warehouses, then data science. So all together, summing up in a very quick time. Now we'll proceed to Dr. Anjaneyulu garu.
Yeah. Will it create the new jobs and what kind of role? So the designations, as rightly Satish pointed out, sorry, may change depending on the kind of role. But will they change the current roles? Yes, definitely it's going to change. Today, if you go to an Amazon Go, again, I will go back to the Amazon as one of the the store, Amazon Go. It totally replaced the salespeople. But did it eliminate the jobs? No, they might have moved to the back end where they have to. There are like what we are seeing, data analytics, huge image analytics is happening inside. Who is walking? What is the kind of thing? And you may be also looking at which appropriate ad to be sent it. So the media back end media. So the front end roles may move to the back end, but the kind of work depends on the kind of designation depends on what kind of role you have been precisely using. If I, with my little knowledge, madam is much more experienced. Reddy Karnalun, they were there, right? They were using huge books. Today, if I go to walk into any of the offices, we will find a smart Karanamar, smart Reddy or VAO, who is sitting in front of the terminal, collects every data. Sir, you open up your mobile app and do. That kind of shift definitely. But did we change the designation? It depends from which office to which office is working on. Like there may be a chief security, chief data analyst, a chief image analyst. There may be different roles may come. Again, let me take another example. Take a like Madam has touched upon the farm agriculture. Let's take a precision farming, where huge AI is possible, including distributed AI or federated AI, where there is a locally you can this farmer himself take an app which we are trying to develop with one of our university, where he can take the mobile app and just flash and locally diagnoses with a one node as an edge node, and the results will be sent to the server which has a much more capacity and capability and more data from different state across the state, can also analyze across state what is the kind of disease and have an appropriate pointed analysis to the administrators like madam, and for the farmer it gives an appropriate exactly precisely what kind of soil mix is required, what kind of fertilizer mix is required, right? Or what kind of based on the disease, that's a local. So that way the AI need to be looked upon. And the second one, just I want to give very high example again. Today we know this is where I learned from one of the senior most administrator when I was a part of the think tank on security. Today I am here with the glasses, etc. Where this is Anjaneyulu. Tomorrow I do something here. I go to another place. I may replace my glasses. I may put a wheel. Can my AI detect? That's where the AI will work. It will. I should be nabbed at that particular point, irrespective of the kind of changes I make myself. That's where the next AI revolution is going to happen. So that's where the federated AI image processing, all this will come up. That where you can remove the fakes. So that is one of the major AI application could be removing the fakes. Today is one of the major idea. So fakes, quickly identifying the security threats at the India level or another level. So coming to as an advice to the students being in a both academician plus industry experience. Now it is the right time where people should start, irrespective of whether they're in the first year, second year, or third year, or just ready for the employment. Start thinking about AI. A simple um, Python, or R, or some machine learning algorithm, one or two machine algorithm. How do we implement? Where do we implement? What kind of analysis can be done? What kind of data is available? There's a huge data, both governmental data and as well as the industry data available in openly. People can download and experiment. That's where my suggestion, and at the same time, don't worry. Still, you may be joining as a software engineer. Then the kind of roles, depending on where you will be employed, what kind of, be it in a software, being in a farming software, or roles will be. But look at, by the time, at least in another 5 to 10 years, you will be living in the world of smart. Be it a smartphone, smart knowledge, everything is going to be smart classroom, everything. But it may not be totally replacing, but it is a big aiding, right? That's where I would like to say thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thanks, Dr. Anjaneyulu, for sharing the fantastic insights with the crisp examples. So, Madam, would like to hear your insights on the same.
Satish has said earlier, all the points are taken up by both. So, well, as Satish, you have been part of NASSCOM report, you said, right? So NASSCOM has come up with 19 different job roles as part of its quality pack, I think they're offering. So which means 19 different job roles are there, which students can now start learning in those roles. I mean, or even the, people who are currently employed, they can actually choose those, programs that are offered by NASSCOM. And we do realize that, there are going to be a lot of opportunities in this area. In fact, as earlier we discussed about the number of jobs that are being available. Sorry? Hello? Yeah, there are different kind of job roles, right from, right analyst, data machine learning, NLP, in the area of NLP, a lot of jobs. But a major chunk of jobs that from the government perspective we see might be in, data annotation, which is kind of a back office operations that, we are looking at. So as you all know, AI algorithms need huge number of data sets, right? Large number of data sets. So, and a simple example everybody talks about is, like if you want to train an algorithm to recognize a cat, you feed large amounts of data labeled as cat. So suppose if I take the example of agriculture, when I want to give crop advisories to farmers, I need hundreds, millions of data points, so that the algorithm on weather, on the kind of crops grown, on soil health, on climatic conditions, and so on. Based on which the algorithm will be able to, come out with crop advisories to farmers. So for the algorithm to learn, you need to annotate those data sets, or you call data labeling. So that could be a major chunk of job opportunities that might be available, and we are also looking at training rural youth in tier 2 and tier 3 cities in data labeling. And in the next 3 years, because we have declared this year as Year of AI, in the next 3 years, we're targeting to offer training programs through our organization called TASK, Telangana Academy of Skills and Knowledge. Around 30,000, students were planning to train through this organization by offering different programs. So my message to the students is, it's as Anjaneyulu and Satish also mentioned, it's a great opportunity for you. In fact, we partnered with Intel in one project where we created 50,000 data sets on mobility. They wanted to use that to develop traffic solutions for India, because our traffic conditions are different. The people who drive here, the way driving behavior is totally different than the West. So they wanted India specific data sets. So when we were releasing those data sets, the Intel official, employees were telling me that they in fact have advertised for, AI professionals, but they're not getting good quality, people for that. So it's a very great, I mean, as Anjaneyulu Garu has said, it's a golden opportunity for you, I would say, you are at the start of all the new emerging technologies, just not AI. AI works, IoT. IoT again brings in huge amount of data. So you need again AI or some other, programs to analyze that data. If you talk about blockchain and AI combination, cloud, edge computing. So it's a plethora of technologies that are available out there right now. And it's you are in the golden triangle, that's what they call. So make use of this opportunity, and you have internet. You can access anything, any course. There are courses available for free, or maybe a little bit of payment, but do invest in learning these new technologies apart from your regular courses. And I always say this whenever I speak with students, the regular course that you undertake is like a pizza base. Unless you add the toppings, it doesn't really taste, it doesn't become palatable, right? So these new technologies are like that. So make your profile rich by learning new technologies and make use of these opportunities. Thank you.
That was pretty cool, the pizza base thing.
So to conclude quickly, if you look at, I want to conclude with taking some numbers. So one of the set is key skills, one of the other set is key roles, and 3 practices. So let's map this together with the exponential technologies. So as we said always, AI is for not only computer science students or mathematics students. AI is for all, whether it's non-computer science, non-mathematics background, or humanities, or agriculture. So AI is for all. And if you look at it in that perspective, the key skills would be not technical, might be, when I say key skills, it's mechanical, electrical, fluid dynamics, instrumentation. Then your AI, ML, DL comes, and along with the OT. The other side, if you look at the roles, AI product managers, subject matter expert, solution architect, data architect, and heavily the jobs are related to data pre-processing, like a preprocessor, data ethicist, data evangelist, all this stuff. And the other practices, if you remember in the morning, Shailesh Kumar was talking about the practices, 3 practices. With a more domain specific is the decision sciences, then the data science, then that's where the engineering team comes. So accordingly, if you look at the 3 layers are different roles. So that's where based on your domain expertise, whether it's from a mechanical, electrical, the fluid, all this with that, and having this technical AI, ML, DL, whatever in place, and you can map to your exponential technologies. Because at the end of the day, if you look at the 80% of jobs are related to more data pre-processing, and 20% are actual development. So that's where heavily the jobs are more related to data. And in the reality, the 20% is actual development. So that's where you can combine with your AI, with IoT, AI or cybersecurity, AI or robotics. So altogether, there is a huge opportunities. So to conclude quickly, yes, AI is going to kill the jobs, but it is going to create hell number of new opportunities. The kind of loss what we have, it's 3, 4, 5 times more than that we are getting opportunities. And yes, it is going to create a lot of new job roles, which we never had in the past. So thanks panel members. Thanks for sharing your delightful insights. And thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day, guys.
Thank you, Mahesh.
Thank you.
All the
Thank
best
you.
for the students.
All the best. Have a fantastic career in front of you. You have that and utilize it. Wish you
Thank
all the
you.
best.
Absolutely.